Welcome to The Anxiety Attic, where I make self-help videos for anxiety disorders. Today I'm talking about obsessive-compulsive disorder and the different types. So how many different types of OCD are there? If you Google this question, you'll see 4 types, 5 types, 6 types, even 13 types. The problem is that types of OCD can be as numerous as the number of thoughts that anyone gets, so it's probably infinite. Let me give you an example of just some of the OCD examples that I know of. Catching a disease, being burgled, being arrested, people thinking you are gay when you're not, stabbing someone, deliberately driving your car off the road, deliberately running someone over, someone you love dying due to something you have done or have not done, causing a fire, displeasing God, thinking you might be a paedophile when you're not. The list is endless. With so many different themes that people with OCD can obsess about, it's no surprise that psychologists have tried to group them, but these groups are open to interpretation and can often overlap. OCD can also overlap with other anxiety disorders such as panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, and social anxiety disorder. To keep it simple, I'm going to use the 3-group model. The first group is probably the one that most people think of when it comes to OCD. This is contamination and cleanliness. The obsession is that you will become seriously ill or die by touching certain objects. The compulsion may involve excessive cleaning or avoidance of anything that you think could cause contamination. Or you might fear that you will contaminate someone else. The second group is obsessions and compulsions around doubt and uncertainty. You fear that something bad will happen if you don't do something in the right way or the right number of times. This may have some logic in it, like checking your front door is locked to prevent being burgled. But when you do it 10 times, it's not logical anymore. And sometimes it can be completely illogical, like if I don't hold my breath when I cross the road, something bad will happen. Quite often there is a superstitious element to it, which some may consider a group on its own. The third group is obsessions around morality. This can be obsessions about doing something that you consider immoral, or being judged to have done something that you or others may consider immoral. It includes a fear of harming people or harming yourself. Note the latter is not the same as someone who is depressed and feels suicidal. It may have a religious element, like fearing that you are blaspheming, or having thoughts that God may judge you for. It may involve sexual thoughts or images. One of the most distressing types of OCD in this group is obsessions about being a paedophile, even though clearly you're not. In fact, this one is so distressing I may do a video on this subject alone. The compulsions around morality OCD are often not as obvious as contamination OCD. The compulsion may be verbal. For example, if you have an obsession that others will think you are gay, then you may frequently bring into conversation that you are not, or try to overly demonstrate your heterosexuality to yourself or to others. If you obsess about the risk of harming someone, you may avoid knives or anything that could be used as a weapon. Whatever the type of OCD it is, OCD is a very debilitating anxiety disorder, and life can be extremely difficult. People with OCD know that their behaviours are not rational, but can't seem to stop doing them. So why is this? The reason for the compulsive behaviour is to neutralise an intrusive or repetitive thought that brings anxiety. Most people get illogical thoughts at times, but because we ignore them, they soon get disproved. For example, if I was to get the thought that I might stab someone, it would be odd, so I would ignore it. But someone with OCD might start avoiding knives. So the anxious part of their mind concludes that they have not stabbed anyone because avoiding knives has prevented them from doing so. So the illogical thought never gets disproved. And the avoidance or compulsive behaviours reinforce the illogical thought, so it comes more often, leading to more avoidance or compulsive behaviours. So the key to treating OCD is to disprove the illogical thoughts, and this is done with behavioural experiments and exposure response prevention therapy. I did a short video a long time ago on behavioural experiments for OCD, which I will link at the end. But if there is enough interest in this video, I will do a much more detailed one using some CBT tools which are available free online. If you have OCD, let me know what sort of thoughts or compulsions you have in the comments below. And here is the link to my video of behavioural experiments for OCD. And here is my link to my OCD playlist.